Hi, this is John Shinal with Vader TV. We're here talking again with Ron Wiener, founder and CEO of Earth Class Mail. Ron, welcome back.
Thanks.
Listen, what is it that you guys are doing for businesses, consumers, governments that are making the product attractive? I mean, is it the fact that increasing recycling, reducing costs? What's the attraction of making mail electronic?
At the end of the day, I guess the best analogy is that if you think back before the cell phone, I think you're old enough to remember, you used to have to say, I'll be at home at 2 o'clock waiting for your call. You call me then. Now we don't even think about it anymore. We're such a mobile society. We have our cell phones. We have our email. We have voicemail. We have e-fax. We can be anywhere receiving communications. But the last form of analog communication is still a postal mail. You have to go back to your office or your home to get it.
Right.
So for consumers, it's mobility, it's convenience, it's security, it's the ability to be anywhere in the world. I was in Europe for a couple of weeks this month, and I got my postal mail every single day. All the other CEOs of post offices that I was hanging out with were having to go back home to get their postal mail. For enterprise customers, it's a massive cost reduction and environmental footprint reduction, because you think of all the steps that documents go through in an enterprise, all the pushes from when the mail first comes in, it gets sorted, it gets opened, it gets filed, it gets transferred around in interoffice mail, eventually it gets scanned before it goes into cold storage, and then eventually gets shredded for Sarbanes-Oxley. Well, all those steps cost $20 to $50 per document in an enterprise and $90 per document in a government agency. What we do is we never let the paper get to the enterprise. We convert it to electronic documents, and then we inject them directly into the electronic workflows that are prevalent today. So whether it's FileNet, Hummingbird, Documentum, whatever system they're using for electronic content management, we're converting it, directly placing it in there. Now that's great for all the process mail, the workflow stuff, accounting, supply chain, HR, and so on. But what happens with employee email? You can't just open employee email. You could be violating HIPAA, you could be violating attorney-client privilege or Sarbanes-Oxley, any variety of other laws. And so what our technology is all about is that we image the envelope, figure out who it's addressed to, present it to them over the web. They then click on open it and scan it. I want to read it as a secure electronic document, or shred it or recycle it, or put it on my desk, or transfer it to somebody else in the company, or archive it. So they could do anything with a piece of mail that they could do if they were holding it in their hands, but they don't have to physically be holding it in their hands to do it.
Now, what are some of the challenges? I mean, why are people saying no, or what are some people skeptical about? Especially, let's say, foreign governments. I saw you guys were on the reality show. You were pitching at a Barcelona trade show, talking to the deputy postmaster of India or someone like that, and other big countries. Are they hesitant to turn over the mail system to a U.S.-based company? Is that, or what are the hurdles?
No, because we're licensing our platform to them, which is everything from the hardware on the back end to the web experience for users, and we put the stack in their country, it's very carefully divided in terms of who has customer data, who has accounting data, and so forth. Actually, our biggest problem by far is the rapid acceptance. We never expected in our business plan to have licensees overseas for several years. We never had it in our numbers until a few weeks ago. It was never in any spreadsheet, and so we're now overwhelmed by the rapid adoption, and that's sort of a perfect storm. One, we've got our partnership with Microsoft that brought us huge credibility and true scalability, and a sales force that's working for us out there that's working with 60 national posts already out there. And then secondly, when we got our Fortune 100 client to roll out nationally, that was a huge testament. I mean, they get as much mail as some of the smaller countries do every year, just in this one company. And of course, it's a high-tech company, and of course, it's a high-tech company. Due diligence is extremely deep, and we had well over 1,000 people involved in the first pilot, so a lot of customer feedback. The integration with enterprise platforms was huge, too, being able to go right into Exchange and into your Outlook account, so we're delivering your postal mail just like your email, and your voicemails come through now. So all that stuff caused an overnight explosion. I mean, all of a sudden, we're going from trying to get people's attention on the concept to way too many Fortune 500 customers, government agencies, and post offices wanting to implement at the same time very impatiently. Right. So our challenge is getting people hired quickly enough, getting equipment out of the factory quickly enough, getting software features put in time so that we can enable these customers.
Now let me ask you about year end. cash flow positive by the end of this year?
By the end of this year, we project to be cash flow positive. Of
Okay.
course, we're picking up another 20 to 30 million here because we just had all these post offices come back and say we want to go live.
Raising another $20-30 million.
So we will not be turning cash flow positive. We'll be actively spending on paralleling our engineering efforts, building multiple teams for different countries.
And then how many employees do you expect to have by the year, and how big will you be?
It's really hard to tell. Right now we have 80 employees. Just our Fortune 100 customer, as they roll out, is, I believe, over 100 employees. So that's just one customer, and we've got so many others in the queue. And it's unknown how long the pilots are going to run before they say, okay, turn it on for all of headquarters or all of our employees internationally. So somewhere between 100 and 200, most likely, by the end of the year.
So we'll look late April. We've got a big customer announcement with a Fortune 500 company. That'll be the next big piece of news. Okay, and the funding round is ongoing, and it sounds like it's going pretty well. Appreciate you coming and talk to us.
Thanks very much.
Okay. We've been speaking today with Ron Wiener. He's the founder and CEO of Earth Class Mail, which is trying to turn mail into an electronic delivery system. For Vader TV, this is John Shinal.